Hello everybody, Lurks here, welcome to my channel, and today it's how to install a Swan dishwasher. I'll take you through all the steps you need to get your Swan dishwasher installed. And this dishwasher installation video assumes that you've got all your existing pipework and drainage pipework. Right, let's get cracking. With your Swan dishwasher you should get a brand new cold water hose feed. Don't ever be tempted to use an old hose, always use the brand new one that is supplied. On the back we've just got the mains electrical cable and the drainage hose, so just unclip these. This is your mains cold water feed hose. Now the 90-degree end is the end that goes on the dishwasher, this part here, and the flat end is the end that goes on your cold water mains feed pipework, and that is where it goes onto the dishwasher there on the bottom right hand corner as we're facing it from the back. Turn it clockwise, make sure that it goes on nice and easily. If it feels like it's not going on properly, then don't continue. You do not want to damage those threads. Don't ever be tempted to put a pair of pliers on here or a spanner. Always just do it hand tight. Just get it as tight as you can with your hand. Depending on where your cold water feed is, depends on what direction you want that hose to be facing. Then take the other end, which is going into your cold water mains. Now you should have a tap on here, similar to your washing machine. Again, screw it on clockwise and only do this hand tight as you can get it. It's also a good idea to note where your main stopcock is, just in case you get a problem and you get lots of water everywhere, that you know how to turn your mains cold water off. Whilst I'm doing that, there's a link above now about what to do if your dishwasher is not draining water properly. This dishwasher is now connected to the cold water mains, but it's not turned on yet. So let's turn the cold water mains on that tap. Then we can check for any leaks. This turns 90 degrees. Just turn it slowly and you'll hear the water start feeding in. Cold water mains pressure is now on. So although the dishwasher is not on, this pipe is under mains cold water pressure. So you're checking for any leaks at either end. This one is looking absolutely fantastic. No leaks at all. Great stuff. Now what we're going to do is install the drainage pipe. Now there's generally two different types, and I'll show you both of those. The first type, which is the one that we're installing here, is just going straight out into a drainage pipe and straight out into the mains drainage. Take the end of that drainage hose and push it down into your drainage pipework. Don't push it all the way down there, because then you might get blockages and it will start smelling. You should have a U-clip. If you've got one of those, put your drainage pipework in there just to stop any blockages and smells. If you haven't got drainage pipework like that, then the other type that you might have is underneath your sink on the U-bend, and you may have some pipework like this. And what you need to do is put your dishwasher drainage hose onto that connection there. Now you may find that it's a really good connection anyway if you just push it on, and that may be good enough, but if you've got a metal clip, it's definitely worth just securing it with a metal clip. This is just a spring clip. By taking my pliers and pushing it in, that makes it wider. We can just move it over the drainage hose. So you'll either have a system like this underneath your sink. Oh, text message from, so you'll either have a drainage pipework like I showed you earlier, or one underneath your sink like this one. So we're just going to secure this one underneath the sink. Now we're ready to plug the dishwasher in. And then what you can do is you can run a cycle on the dishwasher while it's out of position, just to check for any leaks, because that is all now connected. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push it into position and then run one of the shortest dishwasher cycles available on this Swan model. When you're pushing it into position, make sure it goes in nice and freely. Make sure you don't kink any of the hoses at the back. Obviously that's very hard to see because you cannot see at the back, but just make sure it goes in nice and freely and it looks like all the pipework is not being stressed or bent. This is a very level floor, but most dishwashers will have adjustable feet like on this one here. And that's the same on the Swan dishwasher. Now these front feet can be adjusted up and down, so if you've got an unlevel floor, maybe it's on a timber floor and it's at different levels, you can adjust the front feet. But generally if you've got a nice flat floor, the dishwasher should be nice and level already. Now I've just got one of these 3-in-1 pods to go in this Swan dishwasher. Just going to load it up with a small amount of cutlery because this is the first ever wash. Just going to do a short wash, just to make sure that it's all working correctly and we've got no leaks. Whilst I'm doing that, there's a link above now about how to adjust the basket height on this Swan dishwasher.
Okay.
And going to start a cycle here.
That's 30.
I'm just going to listen to make sure that it's making all the right noises. And then, as this is the first ever washing program, just checking for any leaks. And this is a concrete floor in this room, so you'd see any leaks straight away. But there shouldn't be any leaks because we checked earlier with the mains cold water pressure. Once it does its drainage cycle, see if you can go outside and check the drainage. This is 1 hour later, and look at that. Absolutely fantastic. All looking good. Fabulous. And I tell you what, that definitely deserves a lovely cup of tea. I hope you found that useful. Up on this side, there's a video on what to do if your dishwasher is not draining water properly. And over on this side, there's a video on how to keep your washing machine hygienically fresh. Thanks for visiting my channel, everyone. I really appreciate it.